Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Darwish bin Ahmad Faiz, and I'll be presenting on the introduction of our report. So first we go to introduction. So we are researching about the effects on the working capital management on the company's profitability. So the company that we decided to choose for this study is from the manufacturing industry, which is the Dutch Lady and Nestle. Uh, so the report that we done is we do on a research on based on the 2008 global financial crisis, which saw the effects that took place. So we want to know that whether working capital management does does there have an effect on the profitability of the company. Also, in the 2008 global financial crisis, we saw the downfall of the General Motors and Lehman Brothers. So the problem statement that we can choose is we got this thus the working capital management has impact on the company profitability. So we want to know on the points in the working capital management does it affect the company's profitability, and we know that it is critical because in the future we want to know on a company does they have to take care of the working capital management to take care of their earnings in the company. The next is the research questions and research objective of the report. There we can see we have 7 research questions, which is any relationship on the now dependent variable of working capital management on return of assets, on the cash conversion cycle, on the average collection period, on the inventory turnover, on the debt ratio, on the company size. That does they have effect on the company profitability? And also when we push down to the objectives, we want to know that is there any relationship on the variable that I just mentioned on it with the company's profitability. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, so for the introduction of literature review, the literature review is designed to analyze academic information on a certain subject. These chapters reviews past research to better comprehend and understand the management and profit working capital. Next is the performance of working capital management. It is a significant source of company competitive advantage and is an essential element of overall value creation. It enables business to run smoothly and enhance their incomes and profits by sustaining the operational cycle. After that is the cash conversion cycle and company's profit. Based on the literature review, steady cash conversion cycle values over time is a good sign. And effective cash cycle conversion management has a significant impact on a company's profit and liquidity. There is 4 activities that will help with the cash conversion cycle and company profit. First is the average collection period. Average collection times are crucial for organizations that rely largely on receivable for cash flow. It is used by business to ensure that enough cash on hand to meet their financial obligation. Next is inventory turnover conversion period. It is used to measure how long it takes a company to convert inventory into sales. It states that reducing inventory turnovers days can increase company profit. After that is debt ratio. Debt ratio has a positive relationship with gross operating profit. The literature review conclusion implies that as the debt ratio rises, the company's profit will climb as well. And lastly, the company size. The size of a corporation is a significant element in determining its profit. A larger company can grow its worth by taking advantages of any advantageous investment opportunity. After that is the relationship between working capital management and the company profits. It is utilized as an instrument for measuring how well a company utilizes its working capital management. When a company oversees its cash proficiently, that will interpret in a range an increment within the net show esteem of its cash stream, which will in turn result within the increment in its showcase esteem. And the summary for the literature review is it incorporates all the factors included in this report. It moreover incorporates an outline of the discoveries and conclusions that can be utilized in future investigation in this field. That's all from me. Thank you.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amir Hakimi, and today I will explain to you about the research methodology, which is the research framework. As you can see on the slide, there are five independent variables, which is the cash conversion cycle, average collection period, inventory conversion period, debt ratio, and firm size. Okay, there are few types of theory that are being applied in this journal, where the trade of theory with pecking order theory. Trade-off mean that for company with high level liquidity that could save that could face small profit problem, which are negative interrelation between liquidity including profit. Second, the pecking order implies that there is an opposite relationship between the level of debt and profit. It shows that if company had a higher debt ratio, the company will have a small or little profit and one another. Next is for the data collection method, which is annual report and Thomson-Reuters data stream. For the annual report, the information used to calculate the ratio of the listed financial institution will come through the company annual report over the past 30 years. Each data set covers the year from 1990 through 2020. Next is Thomson-Reuters data stream, which is system that provide a wide extent of in-depth financial information, and it could be worldwide, such as monetary and microeconomic information, and trends that provide information on value, monetary standard, and other in a range for 175 country, counting Malaysia, and 60 market. Okay, next is data analysis method, which is descriptive analysis and correlation test. Descriptive analysis is the type of analysis of data that help describe, show, or summarize data point in a constructive way, such that pattern might emerge that fulfill every condition of the data. It is one of the most important steps for conducting statistical data analysis. And lastly, for the correlation test, it is categorized as an examination in which individuals attempt to find the relationship or relationship between two factors and to know the quality of the relationship. In relationship tests, there are coefficients. There are three diverse ways within the positioning of factual relationship. Each of the coefficient will speak to the conclusion that the result was R. The Spearman rank and Pearson coefficient are the two most utilized expository equations, which depend on the sort of the information that analysts have. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Tariq Uzair bin Muhammad Rimi, and today I would like to present to you our findings and analysis in our research proposal. Okay, so we go to the correlation analysis. Okay, uh, the average collection period is significantly positive for the profitability and is also slightly correlated with the cash conversion cycle. Uh, According to the previous researcher, Raza and Attari in 2012, the average collecting period impacts the company profitability considerably. So next we go to the debt ratio. The debt ratio of the companies is also positively correlated to the dependent variable. The data demonstrate that debt correlates favorably with profitability, and so this is insignificant beneficial impact. According to Model Ross in 1977, also proposed that with an increased leverage, the company's value would increase. So next we go to inventory turnover. Inventory turnover for the company is also positively correlated to profitability, cash conversion cycle, average collection period, and debt ratio, which means the higher the inventory turnover, the higher the cost that may be reduced to make a firm more profitable. Next, we go to the firm size. The firm size of the company is significantly positive correlated to the cash conversion cycle of the company and the average collection period, and also the debt ratio, which resulted positively correlated, which means that when the company has a larger firm size in terms of profitability, most of the research assessing the impact of company size on profitability showed favorable findings between company size and profitability. So next we go to the regression analysis. Okay. Uh, in regression analysis, the result indicates that there is no relationship between cash conversion cycle and profitability. According to previous researcher, Sami Logo and Demir Gunes in 2008, they still reflect the fact that the cash cycle does not influence profitability at all. So therefore, the null hypothesis should be rejected since there is no significant relationship between cash conversion cycle and profitability. Next, the result also shows that the inventory turnover has a positive relationship with the firm's profitability, according to P. Kalavani and Dr. K. Jyoti in 2017. As for the correlation between inventory turnover and firm's profitability, it shows that there is a strong moderation in relationship strength. Therefore, the hypothesis should not be rejected since there is a significant relationship between inventory turnover and profitability. And the result shows that there is a negative relationship between debt ratio and profitability. The link between debt and profitability of the company is substantial, according to Japa in 2017. So, the null hypothesis should be rejected since there is no significant relationship between debt ratio and company's profit. Next, we go to the average collection period. Okay, the result shows that there is a negative relationship between average collection period and profitability. According to Vorel, Sockman and Chenena in 2012 found no link between average collection period and profitability. Therefore, the null hypothesis should be rejected since there is no significant relationship between average collection period and profitability. And lastly, we go to the firm size. Okay, the result shows that there is a positive relationship between firm size and profitability. There is a positive association between company size and profit, according to Vijaya Kumar and Tami Selvan in 2010. So the hypothesis should not be rejected since there is a significant relationship between firm size and company's profit. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Adib and I'm going to explain a little bit of chapter conclusion and recommendation. For this part, it consists the finding on major discussion on research objective, recommendation for future research, and conclusion. So we move to the first one, which is finding on major discussion on research objective. It can be concluded that there is four independent variables that is significant, which is average collection period, debt ratio, inventory turnover, and firm size. While for cash conversion cycle, it is not significant. For research objective 1, the result indicates that there is no relationship cash between cash conversion cycle to evaluate corporate liquidity over profitability control of the company. This is therefore a rejected hypothesis. This conclusion is distinct from those in earlier research, which show that the profitability of companies and the conversion cycle had a negative connection. Next, for research objective 2, the result shows that inventory turnover has a positive relationship with the firm's profitability. As for the correlation between inventory turnover and firm's profitability, it shows that there is strong moderation in relationship strength. For research objective 3, debt ratio seems to have a negative impact on profitability that also is profitability tends to decrease when leverage rises. Debt ratio seems substantially as well as adversely linked to profitability as the proxy indicator debt leveraging. If somehow the company has become less productive, then the company relies on a larger debt to satisfy its financial commitment. Finally, research objective 4 shows the result that there is a positive relationship between inventory turnover and profitability, which is the correlation or link between profitability factors and inventory turnover variables is a positive or directly proportional to the amount of weak relationships. Next, we move to the next part, which is the recommendation for future research. The first recommendation is finding more information connected to research study. Gaining more information can help us to make the future research to be accurate and more precise with the result that has been tested. Next, the use more reference from previous study help us to understand more about the information and data that has been gathered. Since there are different results in different studies, it can guide us to find the most accurate result that will help to find the comparisons. And finally, the recommendation are choosing the related variables, which is important to carry out research study. It is best to choose variables that are related to the topic that is being chosen. Some of the variables cannot be used to find the comparisons between working capital management and profitability. Finally, we move to conclusion. This study was designed to explore the influence of working capital management on the profitability of manufacturing companies in Malaysia, utilizing the literature's primary theoretical framework. The firms were picked based on economic criteria using a stratified method of sampling. The statistics are obtained using secondary data from Bursa Malaysia and data stream related to the years 2006 to 2020. We also employ descriptive analysis, correlation analysis, and regression analysis to meet the aims of the study. Assessments conducted on the estimations shows that the model is trustworthy when describing the impact on profitability of working capital management. That's all from me. Thank you.